graduating from New York Geneva's Medical College on Tuesday, January 23rd, 1849. Looking for a great cause? Help New Faith Church International fight against Ebola. Go to Amazon to support the Joseph Assignment. Go to www.smile.amazon.com.
Now boarding the McCain Train with Reverend Rick and author Brenda McCain. They're bringing hot and powerful topics regarding relevant issues on marriage, relationships, and life-changing family topics. And they are funny, engaging, energetic, and they bring real talk that reaches beyond the walls of the church. They have been successful because they have discussed topics like, help me, I want to grow old. My addiction is hurting my relationship. Aborted but not forgotten. Living in an HIV/AIDS relationship. The hand that loves me is hurting me. So if you want to know their glory, you have to know their backstory. So get on board the McCain Train and listen to the Let's Stay Together Internet Talk Show.
Director of Malcolm Williams and Great Faith, and you're listening to the Let's Stay Together Show.
Hello, this is Reverend Rick McCain, and I'm with my wife, author Brenda McCain, my baby, my girl, my boo, and this is the Let's Stay Together Show, and we are here and honored to be here with Terry Vaughn. And Terry, we are just so happy to have you here on the Let's Stay Together Show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful.
Well, great. Tell us a little bit about your role in this movie, 72 Hours.
You're Ricky Dillon, and you're listening to the Let's Stay Together radio show.
Hello, this is Reverend Rick McCain, and I'm here with my baby, my girl, my boo, author Brenda McCain from the Let's Stay Together Show, and I love my wife. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, this is an actor that I love. Mr. Harry Lennox, it is so nice to see you, sir. Thank you for being on the Let's Stay Together Show.
Well, thank you, Rick. This is great, and I am honored to be with you and your beautiful wife.
Well, my question for this beautiful lady is she's very modest, and if I can do a shout out to you, because I got approval for it, because this is my girl. I'm taking it back to Levita from Steve Harvey, but I love all of her work and everything that she does. And she's a 3-time Emmy Award winner, so that's why I said she's modest, and I know you're going to bring to this movie the goodness that you brought to Debbie's little girl, because you was so good as a level-headed girlfriend that kept everything going.
She was mean.
She was level-headed. She was, but I love you.
Very
so
judgmental.
You don't do mean roles. I love you.
If you would like to advertise on the Let's Stay Together Talk Show or be a sponsor, contact us at letsstaytogethertalkshow.com and call 708-713-4958. Welcome back to the Let's Stay Together Talk Show. Your next stop, the McCain Train.
Hey, welcome back. We've just come back from our last break of the hour. Hey, baby, we're almost through with that 2 hours. This has been a blast. It don't even seem like we've been here but for 15 minutes.
Long 15
Hey, we're going to go back to that relationship letter you had from the young lady, and you know I'm terrible with names. C.K. Michaels. I don't know why I want to keep on saying C.K. Reynolds, who I don't know who that is.
Probably
but we were talking a little bit about her and the relationship she had with this young man, so or her husband. So kind of talk a little bit about that, a little bit more, kind of summarize a little, then make your comments.
To sum it up, a young lady's been married for 9 years. In a marriage, she did not have any children. Her husband stepped out for 3 years of their 9-year marriage, and he fathered the son. She want to know, should she stay or leave? And we can't make that decision for you, Ms. Michaels, but we have some great advice on the table for you to seek God first, seek counseling second. Don't let everyone get in your ear and telling you what you should and should not do, because clearly you have some trust issues with your husband going on because he lied twice. And for that, no one at this table on this show tonight could say leave with a clear conscience, but what we can say, love yourself first and know what you have to go through to stay in that marriage, to make that marriage work, because it's not going to be perfect the next day. And as one of our guests said, you're always going to wonder, and if you're throwing it back up to them, then you really don't need to stay in the marriage, because that's one thing, you're not healing. You need to seek out healing. And if you in Chicago area, we got a girl here that can hook you up. But anyway, I believe the information was so on point. So it's like I said again, seek God first, seek counseling second. Listen only to a good friend that you can trust, not someone who just wants you to be single and miserable. So on that note, I appreciate you sharing this because I know that's very personal, and I know that hurt a lot of women when it comes to having infidelity in the marriage. So I really appreciate you reaching out to let us tell your story.
It almost sound like the end. I got something I want to say.
Well, that was my end.
Okay. So let me just say this. One, I'm going to take it from a different angle. Let's make sure that the one person is not hurt in this relationship is the child, because that child had nothing to do with the fact that someone cheated to bring him in this world. So I do like what Tracy said about the fact that, I'm going to still love that child, still show that child some love, because even if you're angry about what the husband did, that child should not bear the burden of what happened in that relationship. So I would say to you to make sure that even though you might be angry, and there's nobody here that's perfect, so we know that there might be some anger about that. And we do get angry when we see that child, and that feeling of anger or resentment for that child might be there. I caution you to definitely get the counseling that they said, go to God in prayer. Definitely go to God in prayer, but caution you very much to not to hate the child because of the deeds of the husband. And then from that point, I also want to say this. If the need arises, and I'm not for or against divorce, that is a choice that people have to make. The Bible gives us choices. You can make that choice yourself. We are not here to try to tell you to leave or stay. Again, as everybody says, that is your decision to make. I do believe that in some situations, out of anger or resentment, it is good that you might separate yourself from that individual for a while, and to make sure that if he doesn't want to go to counseling, even he does want to go to counseling, there are some times that you might want to go to a Marcella on your own and talk to him individually about the anger. Make sure, hear this now, make sure you deal with the anger or the resentment that you have. Don't put it into a barrel or hide it somewhere where you're going to say, oh, I'm fine, everything's okay. If you have that anger, let it out. Talk to somebody. Let them know. If it's your husband, let him know that you're angry about it, because the only thing that's going to happen at that point is that you're going to resent that person or that child even more. I would say also that with the counseling that you get, I'm going to say go to a Christian counselor. Because that's what I believe in. But I want to make sure that even if you don't go to a Christian counselor, that you go to a person that's going to counsel you to help you. There's a lot of people out there that are counseling so they can say what they want to say or what they feel. But it has to be someone that's interested in helping the individual heal. The proper thing that you need is healing. That's the first thing you need to concentrate on, healing yourself. The relationship can wait after that healing, because if you're not healed, that relationship will never be healed. And so that's all I've got to say about it. Get the counsel. We got Marcella here. We'll have her information on there. We got even a social worker on here that got some information that can help you out with certain things. Because, if you're thinking about leaving the relationship, that you've got to talk to somebody about that. How am I going to, sometimes people stay in situations that they don't want to stay in because they can't even figure out how they're going to live without that individual. And so don't get yourself in a trap situation. And as my wife said, find that girlfriend or that friend. It could be a male friend that that's going to be honest and truthful with you, and not someone just, yeah, girl. Someone is going to really care about who you are. And so I thank you all of you all for doing it. And I thank very much for CK. What is
Michaels.
Michaels. Where's this Michaels coming from? What was the singer's name? George Michaels. That's what I'm thinking. I'm old school. Okay, let's get back. Let's get back. We thank CK Michaels for the letter that she sent us in, and I want to go back. So I'm gonna do my part so Brenda don't steal my stuff again. We're gonna go back. You got any more questions you want to throw out there?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, so what? You ask him next week. No, go ahead, baby. What's your questions?
My question is, give me some examples of how this good girl can regain her personality back. Anyone, jump on in.
Come on, Chandler.
I would say do the things that you used to do before he came. Like, really, like, it's like sometimes, like, when you go through a breakup, like my mom and my dad, when they got a divorce, she was sad. And I told her, like, you can have your moment for heartbreak, but you got to remember who you are, and you need to get in contact with yourself, because, you know, like a marriage is two people, and so you're used to thinking as a unit. Now you need to learn how to think singular. You're not plural no more. So you need to figure out what you can do to get back in touch with yourself. Take yourself to a movie. I have fun by myself. You know, like, I have good dates sometimes by myself. Sometimes you need to date yourself. You really do. You need to just be by yourself.
Yeah. Go ahead, girl. Come on. You the mic right next to you. Talk, girl. Do that project thing again, okay?
It's getting to know yourself again. The question was, how did the good girl get away from the bad guy? Like,
give me some examples of how this good girl can regain her personality.
Her personality is the same. You just got to find it again. You got to take out that extra stuff that you were throwing on top that really wasn't you, and take the layers away. So what Chandler said was like great suggestions for a woman to do. And then I'm a firm believer that relationships are an addition, not a completion. So you should still maintain that sense of self while you're in the relationship too.
Mm-hmm. And that's very, these are some intelligent. We got to get some men on here that this intelligent. These women are
they're
just
projects.
My
still.
God, here you go. Shut up. Marcella, go ahead. I'm going to give me some men on. We got to get some men on here for testosterone day.
Well, I got two good ones.
I got
on
Andre
here.
on here, but we have so many intelligent women on here talking. Andre, we got to step up our game, brother, because we when you get on that, is he over there? When we get on the mic, man, we got to say something real smart. I don't know what it is, but we got to say something real smart when we get on the mic. Go ahead, Marcella.
Well, like they were saying, the sense of self, self-esteem, building that up, spending time with yourself, but also setting boundaries. I think when you notice that you go there, that you did some things you say you'll never do, and you actually did those things, you find more things about yourself to explore. And like, okay, why did I allow that? Why did I do that? Why did I go there? So I would say take time out for yourself to see what is it about you that attracted yourself to that, or what made you want to do that, because we all do what we want to do. Even though he influenced you, you still did the things you wanted to do. Yeah. So it's exploring that more and saying, okay, I could do that, but let me set some boundaries that shows my worth, that shows my esteem, that shows that I love me. So I would definitely, like she said, date yourself, spend time with yourself. And I love what she was saying as far as I forgot what she said, but it was good.
Repeat, Akila, repeat.
A relationship should be an addition, not a completion. Absolutely.
That was a good. Hey, Andre, talk to me, man. We're talking about this young lady who she needs to find her self-worth again, and how she should do that. From a man's perspective, we've got this young lady that we're seeing, and she's just broke up, or she hasn't really gotten to that perspective yet. What can we say to that young lady when she's finally want to talk to us, that she doesn't look at me and say, I'm him? What can she do that will not make the same mistake with me, or put me in that position that I was the same as that individual?
Basically, I say, from my experiences and stuff, keep God first. Because, I've been through a lot of trials and tribulations, and a lot of people look at my influence as far as how I turn the equation around, and it was the element of God that actually made me want to look at things different and try things different. And so that's the same advice that I would give anybody else. Look within.
Yeah.
Look within.
I'm going to ask you ladies the same thing, because a lot of times when a young lady has been in a bad relationship, and then she's been on the dark side, and then she meets somebody else, she's automatically thinking that person might have some of those attributes, and she might be very defensive or, difficult to deal with what that new person is coming in. What can you say, or, when you see those signs, what that individual should do to maybe pull themselves away, that they're not, I'm going to go to Akila first, pull themselves away from the fact that you're looking at me the same way you looked at him?
Every person is not the same. I certainly wouldn't want a man to treat me based off how his ex treated him if it was negatively. So every person is not the same, and you have to go into a situation with that. You can't treat someone based on previous experiences, but definitely be aware of those warning signs and signals that go off in your head, like, I'm not vibing this.